Okay. I know what you're thinking. Why are you going to talk about the Hunchback of Notre Dame? What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here. And you know things are bad when... You know things are going to be bad for a movie when it goes straight to DVD. Or, in this case, straight to DVD and VHS. Now, you may be wondering, didn't the Hunchback of Notre Dame see a box office release? Yes, it did. And it flopped. It was a flop, but it wasn't that bad of a flop. Even though a flop is still a flop. What I'm here to talk about is The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, The Secret of the Bell. Now you may be wondering, I've never heard of this movie. Don't worry, I didn't hear about it until, well, yesterday. You see, I was watching a YouTube video, and the video I was watching, the YouTuber stated that The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, The Secret of the Bell, was complete garbage. And I'm like, is it really that bad? Yes, it is. And I'm going to take you guys through not only why this sequel is bad, but why it shouldn't exist in the first place. So, grab a bag of popcorn, put on your favorite Disney song, and let's go. Okay. Why The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2 is bad is, well, first, it went straight to DVD and VHS, which this was released on January 24th, 2002. When you take a look at The Little Mermaid 2, which, yes, that movie did suck also. I actually watched it when I was younger, and I actually liked it, but as I got older, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. So, a lot of the voice actors that were casted for The Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1996 were actually recasted as their characters. Here's the problem. This movie is not memorable at all. The plot isn't memorable. It's basically Beauty and the Beast, but it's Beauty and the Beast light. Like, really light. When Gaston calls the Beast a monster, and Bale just goes, he's not a monster. You are, Gaston. So, or is it Gaston? 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 Gaston. Gaston. Okay. So, the story takes place in medieval France, and it's about Quasimodo, and you know what? I'm not even going to bother you with the plot, with the story, because the story makes no sense. Why doesn't the story make any sense? Well, at the end of this video, I am going to I'm going to tell you guys why this shouldn't exist. Why this why this sequel shouldn't exist. I'm even going to go to Victor Hugo's book, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because The Hunchback of Notre Dame was adapted from the book, and Disney just made the book a lot more kid-friendly. So, everyone is back. So you have Quasi, you have Esmeralda, you have a kid, a knight, and a girl. So you also have the antagonist for this film, which is somebody that runs a circus. Now you may be wondering, what? You see, Frollo couldn't be back for the sequel because, well, he died. He's dead. So, let's just read this really quickly. Take a journey back to Paris. To Paris's magnificent Notre Dame Cathedral to revisit Quasimodo and his friends. The lovable yet lonely bell ringer pits his wits against evil circus owner I actually know how to pronounce this because of another because of another YouTuber, Sartouche, a master of sorcery whose latest evil plan is to steal the cathedral's famous bell, La Fidèle. That is the plot. Now, you may be wondering, what's wrong with the sequel? Yes! Sorry, guys, I had to answer my grandma's question. But, The Hunchback of Notre Dame was hot. And The Hunchback of Notre Dame is memorable. I mean, there's hellfire, there's heaven's light. I mean, everything about The Hunchback of Notre Dame is very much very much. Yeah, very much. Not only a product of the time, but a product of well, not early Disney, but when Disney was at its peak, I guess you'd say. However, this was just a cash grab. As you can tell by the art style. Nothing more than a cheap imitation of the first one, which makes sense because this was only given like half the budget. Now that we're reaching the end, why shouldn't this sequel exist? Well, because La Esmeralda, Quasimodo, and of course Frollo, they're all dead. And you may be wondering, I didn't see that in the movie. You won't. Because let me just... Okay. Yes. As you can tell, Esmeralda is hung on charges of attempted murder. Frollo is murdered by Quasimodo, and Quasimodo commits suicide by wasting away at Esmeralda's grave. Disney sought a happy ending for their movie that was not present in the book, detracting from the power of Hugo's work. Collected many Volkswagens over the years. Okay. I've had probably in the neighborhood of 50 at one time. So this is the Indy. My earliest memories as a child was riding around in Europe in a Volkswagen Beetle, a 1959 Beetle. Okay. Quasimodo attempts to shelter Esmeralda in Notre Dame, but he is ultimately unable to save her. The novel ends many years later when two skeletons, that of a hunchback and that of a woman, are found embracing in Esmeralda's tomb. Hugo reports that Phoebus also came to a tragic end. He married. Okay. So, not only does the 1996 Hunchback of Notre Dame change the ending, which I understand, but they make a sequel that completely writes off the Hunchback of Notre Dame because they give Quasimodo a girl. My dad always said, a lot only keeps an honest person honest. Meanwhile, Victor Hugo's book, Esmeralda was hung on attempted murder charges in Quasimodo's, which Quasimodo, the name literally means like half formed. So, Quasimodo kills Frollo by pushing him off a tower, and then he embraces with Esmeralda's corpse and dies of starvation. So the sequel should have never happened because there was nothing to go by.
Well, at that point, my dad said something he never said, and that was he was proud of.
I'm Hardcore Christopher. I hope you all enjoyed this. Keep it hardcore, everyone.